everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, Gather of Great Things, and it is Monday, and I thought I'd give you a little peek at what I'm working on my easel, and also what has urged me to change my video offerings on Mondays from Mindful Mondays to Magical Mondays. At the beginning of this video, you saw a collage painting that I have on my easel currently. I started that painting over the weekend, and I'm going to be working on a series of paintings having to do with my story, my life, my story. And I thought I would work in my art journal and do some smaller collages in that same vein. This journal I started last year, probably a little bit longer than a year ago, and I didn't get too far in it because I started making my YouTube videos, and for some reason put this journal aside, and it's been calling to me to come back. So I wanted to integrate my YouTube videos with my practice in my studio, and I think this is the best way to do that. These particular images are what I call in the style of magical realism. And magical realism is something I've been attracted to since I was a child. I was very a magical, imaginative child, and I tended to live in my own magical world. And in that world, I could remove myself from things that were happening in my day-to-day life, which may not have been the best situations to be in, or I just needed to escape. So I would create my own world, but from that world, I could hold the rest of the world with love and caring. And I didn't quite learn enough about compassion until later in my life, but that's the way I see my creative world. I spend a lot of time alone in my studio, working on my artwork, working on my writing, and studying and doing research. And these images come from all of that. I read the authors who write in magical realistic style. My favorite author is Alice Hoffman, and as it says here on the cover, Lois Lowry, I don't know if you have read The Giver, but it is quite magical too. She says, "I love the way Alice Hoffman creates the most ordinary people and then turns their lives magical." And you can tell from the covers how magical the inside of this novel will be. This little girl is riding on the back of a crow, and has a very her gaze is that of staring somberly at what is below. So, and this one, when you look at this cover, there's a key on a green ribbon on a brass hook. So all of these things to me are very symbolic. Another author that I really enjoy, who also writes in the magical realist style, is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And I don't know if you saw the movie Love in the Time of Cholera. It's just a heartbreaking movie, but so beautiful. And, oh, I saved a feather in the back. Oh, but it's a novel about love. It's about all different kinds of love. And it came to me at a very, very special time in my life. So, and also Alice Hoffman wrote the book Practical Magic, which if you've seen the movie Practical Magic, you'll know how imaginative her writing is. So let's get back to collage. We're going to be working, or I'm going to be working on collages that are a little bit larger in scale than I have been working on, which means they'll take a longer time. So the videos, I'm going to try to keep them to an hour long, and they will be snippets of me working on these videos. And what I'm working myself up to is doing a live video where you'll see the entire process. Fingers crossed. That's my goal. But for now, I'm going to be exploring stories in my life, stories about my life in a very magical way, because that's the way I see them. Most of the time in my collages, you'll see the number 23. You might see the number 5. You usually will see butterflies. There are certain symbols that appear in my collages that I seem to repeat over and over again. They're deep symbols for me. They appear in my dreams as well as in my collages. And in this mermaid collage, this is me down here among the watery depths of the sea. I think I was probably about 5 when this particular picture was taken. And this is, so much of me is in this collage. I do kind of a mixed media collage in these, so if you want to join me, I use color pencils, I use Posca markers, I use Stabilo pencils and crayons, I use lots of magazine pages. I use lots of vintage papers. Let's see, what else can I say is in here? I use pan pastels. And so if you have those things, you might want to gather them together. I use washi tape. I use a lot of vintage stamps here and here. So it's really an engaging and fulfilling collage. The process is so revealing because I'll finish these collages and then I go in and look for the symbols that I may have inadvertently included in the collage. And you know, I think this one is very magical. She has a turtle, a sea turtle down here on a gold chain that she's guiding through the water. There's this little girl down here who's peeking up from beyond the seaweed or whatever it is down here in the depths. There's so much in these collages. So I hope you'll join me, and this is one of the things that I love to do. I will be including in my Facebook page, lindacarolart Creative Community, downloadable pages for you to use in collages like this. And I'll also be putting together vintage papers in my Etsy shop that you can download and use. And I will be including some collage papers that are based on my own collages that you can also download and use in your collages. But gather together magazines, lots of magazines, and just start pulling images. Books, children's books, coffee table books, anything, and go through and start pulling images that you like. Go through magazines and look for faces, men's faces as well as women's faces. Look for animals that you like. Look for scenery that you like. Look for color and pattern. All of those things. And I'll show you how I organize those things, especially faces and arms and legs and feet and that type of thing. But then I'll also show you my scrap boxes and how I divide up my scrap boxes. So it makes it a little bit easier when I start looking for things. So this is where we're going, and I hope you'll join me. I will be looking forward to it so much. These have just been calling to me to come back and work on them. So if this is your first time here, I hope you'll subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Please share this video. You know, the logarithms for YouTube and Pinterest and Facebook are almost unseemly these days. But I do know that the more you share, the more you comment, the more thumbs up I get, the more subscriptions I get, the wider exposure I'll get, so I can keep doing these videos, which I enjoy sharing my journey with you. So for now, I hope to see you on Wednesday, where we're continuing with the Waste Not Wednesday, where we created this concertina journal from junk mail. And last week we did our first mixed media collage in this, and we will continue on Wednesday to do another double spread. And then next Monday we will start with the Magical Monday collage series, which is really all about you and all about me. So till next time, many blessings to you. Bye for now.